We've already done top 10 dogs, so now it's kitty time. And for the purposes of this video, we'll be talking fully animal cats. If you'd like to see a list of cat girls, leave some comments and we'll think about it. But until then, here's a list of Yu-Gi-Oh's top 10 cats. And prowling into spot number 10 is Fusionist. This level 3 Earth Beast fusion monster with 900 attack and 700 defense entered the TCG in 2002 as part of the game's first set, The Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. 900 attack and 700 defense isn't super potent for a fusion monster. And the plight of Fusionist gets worse, because it has no effect. Both of its materials also have no effect, and in proper retro Yu-Gi-Oh fashion, don't really make much sense. But then of course, making sense has nothing to do with cats, who hold their motives close and come and go as they please. You can fuse into Fusionist using polymerization on Petite Angel and Mystic Sheep number 2. Petite Angel is a level 3 light fairy with 600 attack and 900 defense. And Mystical Sheep number 2 is a level 3 Earth Beast with 800 attack and 1000 defense. These materials are interesting because neither of them have much to do with cats. Mystical Sheep number 1 has the ability to chameleon into any specifically named monster when acting as a fusion material, but this ability doesn't extend to Mystical Sheep number 2. But the inconvenient fusioning isn't even done, because Fusionist is itself a fusion material for another fusion monster, Rare Fish, a level 4 water monster with 1500 attack and 1200 defense. Rare Fish requires Fusionist and Enchanting Mermaid as its materials. While Rare Fish has been lurking around the OCG since 1999, this monster didn't migrate to the TCG until way later in 2016 as a common in OTS Tournament Pack 3. It's worth noting that the Fusionist stat sum of 1600 is actually lower than the combined 1800 stat value of Mystical Sheep number 2, its material. This is a distinction that Fusionist shares with a few other early fusion monsters, like Kaminoan Wizard and Flame Ghost, but Fusionist rises above its more forgettable brethren as Yu-Gi-Oh's non-effect fusion with the lowest attack stat for many years, starting with the beginning of the game and continuing until 2021 set Dawn of Majesty introduced Alvain, the Essence of Vanity, which had 0 attack and 2100 defense, but was at least a tuner. Despite everything going against Fusionist, this card has seen a shockingly amount of competitive play. Perhaps because it's so remarkably unuseful, starting in 2004 and extending to present, Fusionist has been a common pick for duelists who don't need the extra deck. Seriously, it had over 40 recorded placements in just 2014. There is some value here, of course. If you're not going to rely on your extra deck, there's no reason to clue your opponent into that aspect of your strategy until you have to. So why not fill that space up with filler cards like Fusionist? And as a valid target for both instant and ready fusion, it's not an awful target for decks that would like to extend into a level 3. On top of Monarchs, many of its inclusions were with Infernity and Mid-Dolce strategies. Fusionist's insistence on clawing its way into decks on its own terms really embodies the essence of Minute Cats, and makes it a great contender for number 10. And watch out for this list number 9 pick, Watch Cat, which is a level 1 Earth Beast with 0 attack and 1800 defense from the 2018 set Flame of Destruction. Those who share their lines with cats will note the phenomenon of, if it fits, I sits, which describes the feline tendency to curl up in an enclosed space that has room for it. Watch Cat embodies this trait by being able to special summon itself while you control no monsters. This is nice because it's a free body on board with decent defensive stats, but it is important to remember that cats are autonomous creatures, who come and go as they please, and if you control other monsters, Watch Cat chooses not to special summon itself. During your end phase of the turn that Watch Cat was special summoned, the kitty can banish itself to set a continuous spell straight from the deck. While it's tough that you won't get the chance to activate the spell during the turn, being able to set any continuous spell is fantastic, thanks to a plethora of strong options. Plus, Watch Cat can pull off its search under draw, so that's cool too. Competitively, Watch Cat hasn't seen much experimentation, but come on, this cat is awesome. The ice on that kitty wrist is so frosty. But although it doesn't have many placements to speak of, let's talk about Watch Cat's placement in its artwork. It's loafing by the fire next to its friend Watchdog. This level 1 Fire Pyro has 0 attack and defense, and released a few years earlier before Watch Cat in 2014's The New Challenger set. Like Watch Cat, Watchdog can set any continuous spell from the deck, and even let you activate it on the same turn. This, of course, comes with a few other restrictions. For one, Watchdog's set effect can only be activated during your main phase 2, after discarding a spell as cost. Watchdog's activation conditions are the inverse of Watch Cat's, since you can only use the effect on the turn that Watchdog was normal summoned. Also, you can't special summon at all during the turn you use Watchdog's effect, so which watch creature you use can be pretty situational. Either way, these lookout critters are always right on time, and giving this next ferocious kitty the number 9 spot probably would have made more sense. But I'm the DuelLogs, and like a cat, I do what I want. 9 Lives Cat gets number 8. This rank 9 Earth Zombie Xyz monster has 900 attack, and an impressive 3,300 defense, and became part of the TCG in 2020 as part of Ignition Assault. The meaning behind the saying cats have 9 lives is often attributed to the quick reflexes of feline creatures. While cats don't actually always land on their feet, they are remarkably agile in their ability to twist their spine to right themselves in midair, which contributes to their lucky multiple lives impression. 9 Lives Cat is a play on the ideas of cats resisting death, demonstrating here by undeath and zombiehood. On the field, 9 Lives Cat is generous with its protective gifts. While this zombie kitty is on the field, other monsters you control that were summoned from the graveyard cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. As a once per turn ignition effect, you can detach a material from 9 Lives Cat to either summon a level 9 monster from your graveyard or any monster from your opponent's. This effect synergizes well with 9 Lives Cat's protection and also its materials. A generic Xyz using 2 or more level 9 monsters, as long as your opponent has monsters in grave, even if you don't currently have a level 9 in your own, you will after detaching for cost to activate the revival effect, meaning you can special summon that material. And although 9 Lives Cat doesn't protect itself from targeting, 3,300 defense gives it a solid chance at sticking around past the battle phase. As of script writing, 9 Lives Cat also has the highest defensive value of all rank 9 monsters. And the number 7 card on this list might look adorable, but it's a double predator. The rank 2 Xyz cat, Cat Shark, comes from the 2015's Premium Gold Return of the Bling set. It has 500 attack and defense, a water attribute, a beast typing, and claws and teeth. A simple overlay of exactly 2 level 2 monsters, Cat Shark sits at the crossroads of the cat and shark archetypes. It has the water attribute of the sharks, and the low-level beast typing and cuteness of the cats, an archetype currently exclusive to Duel Links and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime as of script writing. Both the cats and sharks were used by anime duelists who basically just had their chosen archetypes as their name: Reginald Shark Castle and Kathy Catherine. On the field, Cat Shark cannot be destroyed by battle while it has an Xyz material that was originally water attribute, which is nice because 500 attack points isn't a lot, but its protection isn't the real competitive selling point of Cat Shark. Once per turn, during either player's turn, Cat Shark can detach 1 Xyz material to target a rank 4 or lower Xyz monster you control, and double its stats. Yeah, it could target itself to go up to 1,000, but considering instead Gigantic Sprite. This rank 2 Dark Thunder Xyz monster has 1,600 attack and defense, with its original stats becoming double while it holds a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster as a material. This is actually pretty easy to accomplish, since for the Xyz summon of Gigantic Sprite, you can treat Link 2s as level 2s. So 1,600 times 2 equals 3,200. Not bad, especially for a rank 2. Now, let's introduce Cat Shark into the equation. A Gigantic Sprite with proper materials targeted by Cat Shark's effect has 6,400 attack. We've officially gone from not bad to really big. The Cat Shark buff only lasts until the end of the turn, but since your kitty will have 2 materials, you'll likely see at least 2 activations, and it's not surprising that most of Cat Shark's usage has been alongside Sprite packages. Not only is Gigantic Sprite a great target for Cat Shark's effect, but the sprites themselves are fantastic for turboing out copious amounts of level 2s to facilitate both their own sprite boss and the kitty Cat Shark, capable of supercharging Gigantic Sprite to extreme levels. But you don't have to be scared of Cat Shark in real life, right? No. Just wait until you find out about the Scaleohonydry family of ground sharks, or as they're better known under their more common nickname, cat sharks. Of course, these creatures aren't dangerous to humans at all, and mostly subsists on invertebrates and small fish. And just barely waking up in time for the number 6 spot on this list is the very sleepy kitty, Purrelyly. This level 1 Dark Fairy has 100 attack and defense, and entered the TCG as part of the 2023 set Cyberstorm Access. Purrelyly is the second half of a pair of pet puppy kitties that includes the level 1 Light Fairy Purrely. But the reason Purrelyly takes the spot on this list is simple: it's super sleepy, but also super powerful. Cats are famous for their naps, and also for doing what they want no matter what other creatures might want from them. Purrelyly embodies this through the quick play spell Purely Sleepy Memory, and its boss form X Purrelyly Noir. The entire idea of the Purrelyly archetype is that Purrelyly and Purrelyly are cute little pets that can morph into powered up forms when they're reminiscent of the times that made them happy. Purrelyly plus Purrelyly Delicious Memory equals a Purrelyly Plump, for example. The Purrelyly memory spells all have multiple effects. The first effect is unique to the card. Purrelyly Pretty Memories increases life points of both players by 1,000, and Purrelyly Happy Memory can choose a card in the field and make it immune to its first instance of destruction by card effect until the end of the next turn, for example. Following the initial unique effect, the Purrelyly Memories all give you the option of discarding a card to summon a level 1 Purrelyly monster from your deck. Your two options at the time of script writing are Purrelyly and Purrelyly, and both come with on-summon effects to make up for the card you lost discarding to special summon them. Purrelyly lets you excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 Purrelyly spell or trap amongst them to your hand. While this isn't the most reliable search, this effect isn't limited to once per turn. Purrelyly, on the other hand, lets you search a non-quick play spell Purrelyly card of your choice from your deck to your hand. This is good for searching the field spell Stray Purrelyly Street for protection, and also the crucial continuous spell My Friend Purrelyly. On the field, both low-level Purrelys let you target a Purrelyly quick play spell Engrave to XC summon a monster from your extra deck that mentions the targeted spell, attach it itself and the targeted spell as materials. This is how Purrelyly Pretty Memory facilitates Purrelyly Beauty, and Purrelyly Happy Memories leads into Purrelyly Happiness. But more noteworthy for this list entry is Purrelyly Sleepy Memory and its paired XCs, the rank 2 Purrelyly Noir. In this case, Purrelyly has begun to rouse and is able to bounce your opponent's cards and set Purrelyly traps in your deck, while attaching a spent Purrelyly quick play spell to itself as a material. Once you control a rank 2 XCs monster with 5 or more materials, you can rank up that monster into X Purrelyly Noir, transferring those materials as well. A rank 7 Dark Fairy with 1100 attack and 2800 defense, X Purrelyly Noir is unaffected by opponent's activated effects while it has 5 or more materials, and can detach 2 materials to target a card controlled by your opponent in their grave or field, and send it to the bottom of their deck. You can activate this effect as many times as you have the materials to power it, and it's a quick effect while X Purrelyly Noir has a level 1 Purrelyly monster as a material. While it might not seem fair to award this spot to Purrelyly and not the original Purrelyly, cats are nothing if not capricious. If they want to be. I don't know, maybe if more people actually ran the trap Purrelyly Sharily, the critters could have taken this spot together. And at number 5, we have Amazonas Baby Tiger, a level 2 Earth Beast with 500 attack and defense that first released in the 2017 set Legendary Duelist. While on the field or in the graveyard, Amazonas Baby Tiger takes the name of its grown-up counterpart, Amazonas Tiger, but it doesn't usually hang around in the graveyard for long. While you have an Amazonas Baby Tiger in hand or grave, you can special summon it if another Amazonas monster is normal or special summoned to your field. This effect is once per turn, but very easy to pull off. Once you have Amazonas Baby Tiger in rotation, you're likely to continue seeing value from the card each and every turn. Baby Tiger also gains 100 attack for every Amazonas card in your grave. While this stat boost effect isn't likely to materially change the state of any game, it is a callback to the original Amazonas Tiger, which gains 400 attack for every Amazonas monster you control. The Amazonas archetype has a few other cats to offer too, including Amazonas Pet Liger, a fusion of Amazonas Tiger and any other Amazonas monster. And thanks to Amazonas Baby Tiger's name-changing effect, it's also a valid option to fuse it into Amazonas Pet Liger. Then we have Amazonas Pet Liger King, a fusion of one high-level Amazonas monster plus any other Amazonas. Of course, as a battle-focused archetype that's not Tempai, the Amazonas cards have historically struggled competitively. So how did Amazonas Baby Tiger wander so far into this list? Well, it's simply a very good kitty, for one, and for two, Amazonas Baby Tiger was incredibly strong in Duel Links. Releasing as a rare in the 2018 main box Valiant Souls, Amazonas Baby Tiger enabled a hostile Amazonas takeover of the competitive meta as a high-profile free-to-play deck. While many tier decks of the historical Duel Links meta have required multiple copies of expensive-to-obtain cards, the 3 cards that formed the foundation of competitive Amazonas were very easy to obtain. Like Amazonas Baby Tiger, Amazonas Onslaught was a rare pull from Valiant Souls. Copies of the strategy's final piece, Amazonas Princess, were initially available as a special drop for May 2018's Elegant Mai roaming event, but that would soon become more widely available as a reward in the ranked ticket, and later just regular ticket pull. Amazonas Princess could search Amazonas Onslaught at a normal summon, and on attack declaration could send another card from your hand or field to the grave to special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck in defense mode. This was a great way to get your Amazoness Baby Tiger into rotation, and even better if you already had access to Baby Tiger, since this helpful little kitty was the ideal sent target for Princess's effect. An Amazoness Baby Tiger sent to the grave to special summon Amazoness Queen from deck would likely return in short order. Of course, these Amazoness combos were too good to last, and Konami would limit Amazoness Onslaught to 2 on the June 2018 Forbidden list, with Amazoness Baby Tiger also going to 2 in the following list in August. This was doubly unfortunate, because the Duel Links ban list works a little differently from the advanced format. Rather than 2 Onslaughts and 2 Baby Tigers, you could only have 2 copies of all Limit 2 cards, full stop. While this didn't fully shut down Amazoness, it did stop them from running other powerful Limit 2 designated cards at the time, like Enemy Controller. But these ban hits are just more evidence in support of Amazoness Baby Tiger's spot on this list. And at number 4, we've got another tiger, but this one's not a baby. Dewloren, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier, is a level 6 water attribute beast synchro monster with 2000 attack and 1400 defense. That first released with the second wave of Dual Terminal, and more widely into the TCG as part of 2010's Hidden Arsenal 2. To summon, Dewloren requires a tuner plus any number of non-tuner water monsters. Once per turn, the Tiger King can bounce any number of face-up cards you control back to your hand, and gain 500 attack for each until the end phase. This is one of those cards where the supposed downside is actually what makes it so good. Generally, having your cards bounced is disruptive, but by playing Dewloren alongside some exceptions to this trend, you can do some pretty silly stuff. For one, floodgates. Let's say you use a card like Anti-Spell Fragrance, Dimensional Fissure, and why not get really spicy, the True Sun God, to slow your opponent's plays. Unfortunately, during your turn, they're going to slow you down too, but not if you have a line into Dewloren, who can bounce these floodgates back to your hand, letting you play unconstrained before replacing them after you're done comboing off. Continuous spells without once per turn restrictions also work well with Dewloren. Fire Formation Tenki is one example where Dewloren's self-bounce could provide an extra search for a low-level Beast Warrior monster. Famously, Longband Premature Burial is another. Has an easily searchable equip spell that revives a monster and won't blow up its target upon leaving the field. Premature Burial plus Dewloren, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier, equals another Premature Burial without losing the previously revived target. Prior to Dewloren's second erratum to coincide with the 2021 release of Structure Deck Freezing Chains, you could repeat Dewloren's effect by booking and resetting the card, or summoning a new copy. The new errata changed Dewloren's effect from a once per turn ignition to an ignition effect that you can only activate once per turn, effectively stopping these loops. It's no joke. The number 3 kitty of all time is Prank Kid's Meow-Meow-Mu. A Link 1 Earth Rock monster with 1000 attack, Prank Kid's Meow-Meow-Mu released into the TCG near the end of 2020 as part of the Phantom Rage set. Link 1 monsters are notoriously powerful. Even a quote-unquote bad Link 1 is usually pretty good because it's Link 1. By only requiring one material, Link 1s expand the combo potential of their decks by adding what they can do to any card able to link off into them. For Prank Kid's Meow-Meow-Mu, any level 4 or lower Prank Kids monster works as a material, and let's see what you get for it. First off, 2 once per turn restrictions. You can only link summon Meow-Meow-Mu once per turn, and can only use its effect once per turn. That effect is that when your Prank Kids card would attribute itself to activate its effect during your opponent's turn, you can banish Meow-Meow from your field or graveyard as a cost instead. But the best part of Prank Kids Meow-Meow-Mu aren't printed on the card itself. The 4 Prank Kids main deck monsters, Fansies, Lampsies, Dropsies, and Roxies, share a summon from deck effect that triggers when they're sent to the graveyard for the fusion or link summon of a Prank Kids monster. Fansies can send a Prank Kids card from deck to grave before summoning a different Prank Kid from deck. Lampsies inflicts 500 damage before doing the same, and Dropsies gains 1000 life points before going into the summon. Roxies lets you banish a card from your hand to draw 1 before summoning from deck. And even though all of these elemental Prank Kids have once per turn limits, it's very easy to activate them all during turn 1 through link climbing. With Prank Kids Meow-Meow-Mu available as a link 1, any low-level Prank Kids normal summon is a line into all of them. For example, let's say we summon Fansies and link into Meow-Meow. This will trigger Fansies in grave, letting us dump any Prank Kids card while summoning another prankster, let's say Lampsies, from deck. Now we have 2 materials in the field to link into Prank Kid's Dodo Doodle Doo, who searches a Prank Kid spell or trap on link summon. with the linked off Lampsies summoning Prankit's Roxy's from deck, and Prankit's Doodle-Doodle-Doo able to attribute itself to target 2 non-linked Prankit cards of different names engraved and add them back to hand, here's a hot prank. We're comboing off. And we haven't even addressed Prankit's Meow-Meow-Mu's actual activated effect. The Prankit's extra deck boss monsters, Prankit's Battle Butler, and Prankit's Rip-Roaring Roaster are able to attribute themselves for Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster style board clears. Notably, these board clearing effects are not once per turn, and instead constrained by their self-tribute cost. Using Meow-Meow-Mu to combo into either boss effectively gives you 2 quick effect speed Raigekis or Feather Dusters as interruption during your opponent's turn. This kitty is pretty good, and as a result was quickly limited to 1 copy in October of 2021, and then banned outright in the TCG in May of 2022, where it remains to this day as of script writing. And for the number 2 spot on this list, we're going with a truly fearsome kitty, Naturia Exterio, which is a level 10 Earth Beast fusion monster with 2800 attack and 2400 defense, from the 4th wave of Dual Terminal. Released widely into TCG as part of the 2011 set Hidden Arsenal 4, Naturia Exterio is a powerful boss monster and endboard piece that demands a quick response from your opponent. While face up, Naturia Exterio can negate the activation of a spell or trap card by removing from play 1 card from your graveyard and then milling the top card of your deck, with no limits as to how many times you can use this effect each turn. As long as you can pay the cost for your Exterio negate once, you'll be able to keep paying it, because the milled card can become your next banish. So yeah, while you control Naturia Exterio, you can pretty much endlessly negate spells and traps. It's not a perfect lock, of course. Although Exterio negates the activation of continuous spells and traps, it doesn't destroy them, meaning their passive effects will go live unimpeded. Often, powerful extra deck bosses are balanced by restrictive summoning conditions, and this is the case with Naturia Exterio. It has strict fusion material requirements, meaning you can't use substitutes like King of the Swamp or Muddy Muddragon. This is doubly unfortunate because not only are Exterio's explicit fusion material strict, they're tough. It's a fusion of 2 synchro monsters, Naturia Barkion and Naturia Beast. Barkion and Beast are also strong walking negates in their own rights, with Barkion able to negate traps by banishing from grave, and Beast negating spells by milling off the top of your deck. Naturia Exterio was a fusion of these 2 monsters and also a fusion of their effects, able to negate both spells and traps by banishing from grave and milling from the top of your deck. But although fusion summoning to Naturia Exterio is a little difficult, this dragon kitty has no restrictions on special summon, meaning you can cheat it out of the extra deck using cards like Summoner of Illusions, Waking the Dragon, and Cyberstein. Banned for many years before getting briefly broken out of the Forbidden List to 1 copy from January 2019 to June of 2023, Cyberstein was one of the best ways to cheat out Naturia Exterio, and remains so in traditional formats. The Earth Hex Sealed Fusion is also able to summon Naturia Exterio, because it technically special summons by attributing a correct fusion material and itself, rather than as a bona fide fusion summon. Often, this is inconvenient, since many fusion monsters have restrictions requiring them to be first fusion summoned, but the Hex Sealed effect works in the case of Naturia Exterio. We're going way back for this list number 1 cat. The 2005 TCG set Flaming Eternity introduced quite a few cards that the years to come would mint as iconic, including Sacred Phoenix of Nethys, Lightning Vortex, and Gatling Dragon, for all the Metamorphosis Peeled Goat players in the house. Also releasing as part of the Flaming Eternity set was a Rescue Cat, the first member of a guild of helpful hero critters capable of igniting wild plays, and also the number 1 kitty on this list. By sending a Rescue Cat you control to the grave, you can special summon 2 level 3 lower beast monsters from your deck. Their effects are negated and are destroyed during the end phase. But those downsides don't really matter, because almost always you'll be using those beasts rescued by your cat as material to go into extra deck plays. Remember Naturia Exterio from the last entry? You can use Rescue Cat to instantly go into either of its materials. Both require an Earth Tuner plus 1 or more Earth attribute non-tuners. Stipulations Rescue Cat can easily fulfill by using the level 3 Beast Tuner X-Saber Airbellum, plus any level 2 or 3 Earth Beast non-tuner. This also applies to the generic Synchros as well. You can even use Rescue Cat to summon the Fabled Unicorn by way of any of the many Fabled Beast tuners. And that's still just Synchros. Rescue Cat's operations extends to XCs and Link summoning. The Little Animal Rescue Guild is comprised of 5 members at the time of script writing, including sequentially Rescue Cat, Rescue Rabbit, Rescue Hamster, Rescue Ferret, and Rescue Hedgehog. According to the lore presented by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Arena, an official card game sim that ran for about a year in 2014, Rescue Cat is the critter team's lead, a station befitting its place in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh history. Not only was Rescue Cat powerful in many strategies, it's been the cornerstone of several, including a deck called Synchro Cat, where your Rescue Cat could easily facilitate an OTK using an end board with multiple Darkstrike fighters. Unsurprisingly, Rescue Cat spent a long time on the Forbidden list. Banned in September of 2010, Rescue Cat wouldn't find its way back into the game until March of 2017. For its outsized presence in the game, this little kitty takes the #1 spot on this list.